I am a recruiter. That's what I do for a living.
I work for an IT department at a local high school and coach soccer.
That's actually how we met, because my sister also works there. She is a Latin teacher, and we took a trip to Italy with 20 plus kids, and Rob volunteered to be a chaperone, as did I, and that's where it all began. I'm Allison, and I'm living with type 1 diabetes.
I'm Rob. Been married to Alison for 16 years.
I was a fit 36-year-old who exercised regularly, and I noticed I was getting winded going up a flight of stairs. Then slowly I noticed I was thirsty all the time. Then, of course, was in the bathroom all the time, including throughout the night, which was irritating. And then I was also hungry all the time. And I ate and ate and ate, yet I was losing weight. And I called my oldest friend, who also happens to be a type 1 diabetic, and she said, "You need to get to the doctor right away." When I got to the endocrinologist, she cleared up any confusion and absolutely, she said, "This is type 1, and there's no question about it. This is the first day of the rest of your life as a type 1 diabetic." The endocrinologist was very direct about this being a very life-changing diagnosis, and not just for my life. My husband's life was going to change, and how incredibly serious this disease was, and how errors one way or the other, meaning letting my sugar get too high for too long, or letting my sugar, not correcting if my blood sugars are dropping so low. One or both could mean coma, could mean fatality.
She was throwing so much information at us, and I don't process information coming in that quickly. So she was showing Alison how to prick her finger and read, and immediately my mind started wandering about how this was going to affect her life and my life. And then I realized I just missed 2 or 3 minutes of more important information about calculating math, about blood sugars, how fast they could go up and how fast they could go down, depending on whether it was 1 jelly bean or 3 jelly beans. I had to know this stuff as well as Alison did, or maybe even better, because there were going to be moments where Alison might not be able to take care of herself. And that was an eye-opener. That really woke me up as to how serious type 1 diabetes is.
I was in charge of all of my own administration of insulin. There's no need for Rob to do that. But she said, okay, these are warning signs that you need to be aware of, particularly if Alison is experiencing a low blood sugar. And she had no idea what kind of relationship we had, or how supportive he was, or how much we share in the responsibilities of the house. I'm fortunate that he's always been that way, but I think she also wanted him to say, hey, you're gonna need to step up in a lot of ways, even if it seems insignificant. She needs time to sort this out and to get regulated, and you're gonna need to maybe shoulder a little bit more of the load. I wasn't excited to use GVOKE because you never need to, but whether it was Rob doing it or if I would have to do it by myself, at least it seemed to be just a better solution and maybe not as panic-inducing as the glucagon kit. Sometimes a bit intimidating. This seemed less complex.
From a caregiver's perspective, my advice to other caregivers is the way to take the stress away from the patient with type 1. You need to shoulder some of the burden of it and be attentive to signs and symptoms of a low or a high. And if you need to take the action of using GVOKE, know exactly what you're going to do. Having encountered a few of these lows and now knowing and being comfortable using GVOKE, it's a game changer for when you're in those situations, because you know that this system's going to work. It's going to work better than other things that you've done in the past to relieve hypoglycemic lows. GVOKE has given me peace of mind. It's given me confidence in those situations.